Hi, every high school has elective classes, and some of them are pretty strange. I remember when I was in high school, I took an elective called Polynesian History. Hi, my name is Binz, and I'm the homescholar. And I thought we really better talk about high school electives because I know people get a little bit freaked out by it. So let me explain that there are actually three electives in high school that you really have to have for your children. And not one of those is Polynesian history. Okay. So the first high school elective that you need is whatever might be required by your state law. So you want to look at your state homeschool law. Don't look at the public school law. It changes every year. They may say you have to have 100 years of community service, and then the next year they change their mind and say, no, you actually need technology. It's enough to drive you insane. So instead, look at your homeschool law and see what is required from homeschool students. And then you make some plan to address that need. Now, in some states, maybe they require health. I know I live in Washington State. In our state, they require us to teach occupational education, which is an awesome elective. Anything that you do that gears your kids up to having a job of any kind works for occupational education. Anyway, so that's the first requirement, is what is required by state law. The second must-have high school elective are the requirements that parents have, the electives that you absolutely positively make sure your children have. Now, that's going to vary a lot from family to family. A homeschool family might require Bible courses, Old Testament, New Testament, or they might require their child to have auto mechanics or home economics or logic or driver's education. These are things that come from our parenting and are guided by our values in parenting. And those are perfectly acceptable. The one thing I want you to remember is please don't overwork your children. You don't need to teach them, say, every single thing that you've learned in your entire adult life, all, I don't know, 45, 50 years of your adult life. It's taken you 45, 50 years to, get that information. So you want to limit it to what is a reasonable amount for your homeschooler. And then the third most important must-have high school elective are electives from delight directed learning. That's the things that the children do for fun. You don't have to guide it. You don't have to buy curriculum. These are just classes that they're learning because they love it. So, for example, maybe it's piano or guitar or art or handcrafts or auto mechanics can also be in that category. And so you think about what it is they do for fun, and then you collect that natural learning and you create high school credits from that natural learning. Now, this delight directed learning, the third kind of elective that we're talking about, that is so important even beyond high school, because the things that they do in their delight directed learning, they really guide their choices for the future. It guides their career decisions. Maybe for right now, their delight directed learning is getting outside and doing stuff outside. And for that reason, they have a job mowing lawns. And maybe one day they get really, really, really tired of being outside because it rains all the time in Seattle, which is where I live. And so that can guide their career path in the future. It can help them to shape and mold what they want to do. If your child's delight directed learning involves them working at a think tank and doing public policy research, well, that's going to affect the careers that they want to go into long term. So you can see how this delight directed learning is not just good for high school and for electives, but it also carries forward into their adulthood. So I want you to capture those high school electives. Make sure that you put them on your homeschool transcript. It's equally important to have a course description for electives as it is for anything else. It's just as important as a course description for math or science or English. Having one for each of your electives is important as well. Now, I want you to remember that electives make your life easier, not harder. They help you to exceed expectations in colleges. It can help you to work less as a homeschool parent, because as you include their delight directed learning, you don't have to make tests for stuff like that. And it's easier to make a grade. When they love it, they get an A, right? So it makes your life better. It makes your child's life better. It helps them shape and mold their future plans. So I want you to exceed expectations and include electives on your homeschool transcript. I hope that explains it. Have a great day.